Hello, adventurers, and welcome to the first installment of the Legend of Kelamentura quest log. Currently, we're in our second session. The second session is over. The third session is starting next Sunday, hopefully. But let's do a brief recount of the first two sessions. So, in our first session, our party convened in the military city of Terran, the military capital of Kelamentura. Some brought there by summons due to dereliction of duty, for lack of a better word, and some just brought there through vision quests and brought there a path to tame some evil that was apparently arisen in the world by their told by their gods. So after the party convened, signed a couple of contracts. One to go investigate a disturbance in the mining colony of Steelborough, where the dwarves found something. They don't know what it is yet. And another one to travel further north to the farming town of Goldenfields. So, once signed the contracts, the party gathered their things, made their way further north to the stables, got their horses and carts, and set out from the city. Fairly uneventful first day. Traveled for a bit, made camp. Our resident druid, Lorilla, shapeshifted into a boar and went. Shapeshifted into a wolf and went hunting. Went and decided to hunt and kill a boar, which became the first combat of the session. Because as a DM, why would you pass up the chance to have something, do something like that? It's like, druid wants to hunt. You never hunted before. You gotta fight this thing. What next? Yes, day number 2. Around lunchtime, the party was making their way, continuing their adventures further north. And around lunchtime, yet again, our extremely perceptive fucking druid heard some rustling and heard a twig snap, and of course looked to the left and saw an ambush. Number of veterans in a figure in some sort of mage robes. Not entirely sure. A brief but very violent battle ensued, during which our half-orc paladin wizard, our Pallard, wizarded, charged forward and in a single attack just decapitated our wizard friend. Decapitated the wizard. One hit. Crunchy crits. Gone. After doing that, our druid also then brought forward a centaur friend. The remaining veterans, who were just 4 men, were very quickly outflanked and came to a very quick realization that they probably weren't going to do very well, considering the friend had been decapitated instantaneously, and they're now suddenly on both flanks and they had horses to the rear. They went, nah, fuck this, and promptly surrendered. Our party, feeling merciful, decided to let them on their merry way, and so they did. Sent them off with a gold piece each, told them to go straight, or else, of course, seeing your up until recently boss decapitated leaves a bit of an impact. However, before they left, the bandits did reveal they had a camp, but a ways off. So Bjorn decided to go it alone and said, okay, just turn and set off on his horse and just wandered off into the woods in search for the camp. Meanwhile, the rest of the party, watching the bandits depart, decided to, he can look after himself, decided to head off. However, the cart was being driven by our cleric, Soraya. I'm going to pull the names up here, because I'm going to fuck this up constantly. Oh. It's our resident elfin cleric, Soraya, whatever. Sorry, I'm butchering your name here. The car was being driven by Soraya, who unfortunately was a bit shaken by the display of violence, and fortunately drove the cart off road and smashed a wheel on a boulder that was hidden in some very long grass. Thankfully, there was another cart not too far back around the place where they had the fight, and also picked up a young girl called Amelia. Now, Amelia a few days prior, had decided to leave the town of Brewstock, which is another few days' travel north, and come south to the Terran for the summer solstice celebrations. However, along the way, she was kidnapped by this group of individuals and rescued a few days later by the party. So party, once they'd wrecked away to their cart, were able to, thankfully, the party had some woodworking tools, were able to go to the old cart, take the wheel off, go back to the other cart that was there, take a good wheel off, put it on the new one. Unfortunately, there's some not great rolls. It did take them a while, considering that no one's ever done this before either, so it took them a couple hours. At which point Bjorn returned. So Bjorn's adventure, Bjorn went off into the woods by himself on a horseback with some fairly, what he thought were pretty good directions from the bandits. Just sort of, oh, where's your camp? Oh, it's over that way. Okay. Headed in that direction. And then realised he was on horseback and been told, oh, it's about a half an hour on foot. He was on horseback and got a bit lost. So it took him a while to find the camp in the first place, but then he did find the camp, thankfully. That was good. He did find the camp. Getting a little like Jesus over here. So found the camp after a bit and rode right up to the camp and found that, as he had been told, it was indeed deserted. There was no one else at the camp. A campfire slightly smouldering in the centre and a few pup tents. Again, he rolled not great investigation, so he did find what he was looking for, but it took him slightly longer than probably should have to realise there's a ring of pup tents, campfire, and a larger, a nicer tent off to one side of the clearing. He's like, oh, there he is. Went in, saw like a small camping bed, a writing desk, some personal effects, some papers, and a chest on the floor, which he promptly picked up, which he went over, had a look at, and rolled high enough to determine that there was some sort of magical trap on the box. I went, oh, okay. Realized, yeah, there's something magical here. I can't do anything about it. Shit. So, picked the box up, took a few steps, and the glyph blew up in his face. Quite literally. Slightly frosted. Bjorn rummaged through the chest and found a number of interesting items, including a ring of protection a mage's spellbook, some coin, and a couple of letters. One of which written in code, and another one was a completed but unsent ransom letter for Amelia back to her parents, Braun and Sarah. Need to make sure that I actually are the right names, because I'm going to kick myself if it wasn't NPCs. Come on. Yeah, I got it right. It was Braun and Sarah. So, yeah. So, Bjorn returned to the party, slightly iced, some slight frost in his armour, came back right as the party managed to finish the cart for the day. Travelled on for the rest of the day, made camp. Nothing to, and then made camp for the night. And during the night, our monk, Gimdrin, took the first watch and unfortunately fell asleep. However, thankfully, during the night, she did start awake after a while. And her starting awake startled something away from the camp. Wasn't entirely sure what it was. However, upon conferring with, again, Bjorn and his eagle companion, was able to determine that there was some sort of wolf-like creature appeared to be stalking the party. So for the final watch of the night, Soraya was able to sit, rolled a natural fucking 20 on her perception check, and was able to see that there was absolutely no sign of any wolves or any sort of wolf-like creatures near the camp. It did find a lot of woodland critters, and at one point caught a glimpse into the astral sea. Because of course you can with a natural fucking 20 in perception. But no wolves. And then the next day, fairly uneventful. Again, day number 3, quiet day's travel. The party did come across a shrine to the Pure Ones. A little small roadside shrine, a collection of rocks. Some tributes had been left. Number of the party left a small tribute. And as they left, felt themselves imbued with the strength of their gods, the Pure Ones. 5 temporary hit points. And that night, when they went to make camp, as they were sort of got in, set up camp, the party realised the spot they picked might not have been the best spot, as they noticed, as the Lorilla noticed a slight acrid smell, and the rest of the party very quickly copped on there was something not right about the clearing. and the party found themselves surrounded by 4 black puddings, literally in a ring. And then, oh, this isn't good. So again, a quite brutal battle ensued. A number of the party got quite badly bloodied, but thankfully, a number of the black puddings did also meet their end at the hands of the party. 2 of them were scattered. 2 of them are scattered. The third one, I think it left him 1 hit point, went nope, and slipped back into the ground. The final black pudding, the only one that had remained whole, decided, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna have a go at Gimme before she left. Because Gimme had been our monk who had done a fair bit of damage to this black pudding, and the black pudding took offense to that. Decided, no, I'll give you a parting gift. Roll a natural 20. Yeah, that was fun. That was 60 points of damage. I almost killed my monk in the second session, right at the end of battle, because she was on like 4 hit points. Yeah, that was fun as a DM. Natural 20. Cocoon. Death saving throws. Yeah. Thankfully, the pudding knocked her out. Slurped over the top of the body, disappeared into the ground, and the rest of the party were able to just dive on her and immediately just pump her full of healing spells and bing, pinged her back up. So, yeah. And then the party made their way slightly further down the road and found another suitable camping spot for the night. And we're about to pick a watch schedule, and we entered our session. So, yeah, that's a brief recap of everything that's happened thus far. As it stands, the party's about a day's travel away from Brewstock. Maybe slightly less, depending on how fast they decide to travel. And we'll see what happens on the way. Hopefully it's a fairly uneventful adventure, but you never know what could happen on the roads of Kelamentura. Until next time, adventurers.